Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Shiri and this is your tour guide in Israel, David. And today we have a very special guest. My very best friend for more than
40 years.
40 years?
40 years.
Okay, 40 years. Iris London-Zolty, London. She's a singer, she's a writer, she's very talented.
Tel Aviv is the best city in the world. Thank you for having me in the channel. I'm very proud and excited to tour with you.
And today we learn all about the first days of Tel Aviv.
Right, and we're going to start here at this neighborhood, Neve Tzedek, which was actually the first attempt of Jews to leave Jaffa. After Neve Tzedek, I will also visit Rothschild Boulevard and Levindky Market. They're all walking distance from each other, so stay with us for the complete tour. So this goes all the way back to 1887. In Jaffa, that's where the population was getting overcrowded. There were sanitary issues, disease, and there was an urge, an attempt to move out of the walls of Jaffa, and they purchased land here. So let's walk around Neve Tzedek and show us some of the sights of this beautiful neighborhood.
Let's go.
Yalla?
Let's go, yalla.
The name Neve Tzedek is from the Bible. It's from Jeremiah 31. ירמיהו 31, הנה, בשובי את שבותיו יברכך השם נווה צדק הר הקודש, ירמיהו ל"א. בית רוקach, this is Shimon Rokach's house, the house out of which grew the city of Tel Aviv. So Shimon Rokach, his father got the lease from the Ottomans to charge the tax for the carriages that went up and down to Jerusalem. Shimon Rokach. But his father lived in Yerushalayim, and he needed a representative in Jaffa to collect the tax here. So he sent his 21-year-old kid. He spoke Arabic, he spoke Turkish, he knew the language, he knew the people. He had connections. His father was a big macher in Yerushalayim. And he was the one that established an organization called Ezrat Israel to help the immigrants that came to Jaffa and had nowhere to live, no work. So it's actually Shimon Rokach. He's the one behind this whole enterprise.
But Shlush gave the land.
Hi. Shlush. זה אהרון שלוש? Aharon Shlush. And Aharon Shlush grew up in Jaffa. He arrived here at the age of 11 or 12. And he continued the business of his father, jeweler, money changer. And with the money that he made from that business, he started buying land. Now the land he bought, outside the walls, the land he bought was like orchards, pardesim.
Yeah, neighborhood
like it is today.
And not even planned neighborhood, just happened.
He sold him 10 dunams of an orchard that he had, and they divided it into 48 plots, and they built little homes, 2 rooms each. And they sold them to the poor people of Jaffa.
למצוא לי עונג חרישי, נוסעת במחוזות זרים לא מוכרים. זה יהיה מסע ארוך מאוד אישי, בוא אוותר על מה שאחרים אומרים. ואת נפרדת לשלום מהביקורת, ממחמאות ללא כיסוי מזויפות, ממוסכמות של מקובל ושל מסורת, מאמיתות כוזבות על איך נכון לחיות. לידה, פריחה, גאות, סופה, מפל של מים, הם לא צריכים תשועות כדי לקרות. פותחת חלונות אל תכלת השמיים, לומדת מעצמי להשתאות. כדי למצוא דרכי בסבך אני אוספת עוד אבנים של אכזבות וציפייה, מניחה אותם תחתיי ומרצפת את השביל אל סף ההכרה.
So how about these houses in Neve Tzedek today, huh?
They're all renewed and they're very expensive.
The rumor is that you need to speak French to buy one of these.
And now is the new park.
Yeah, this is brand new. This is the first time I've seen it. So Iris, this has been here for what, like a few months?
A few months.
Few months.
They built a beautiful park
first?
Start near the sea, and you can walk and ride your bicycles and run.
Wow.
And it's beautiful.
They built the first railroad from Jaffa to Yerushalayim. The year is like the 1890s, 1892. Wow. It took 4 hours to get on the train from Jaffa to Jerusalem. But it was like a progress, because before the train it took 14 hours either walking or riding a mule or horses. This house was the house of Shmuel Yosef Agnon, the famous author. He didn't own it, he just rented a room here, probably up there on the second floor. And he wrote one of his famous novels, Tmunot Hayenu, is all about his years and his life here in Neve Tzedek. This is Shai Agnon. So Nachum Gutman, he was one of the first children of this neighborhood. His father was the teacher at the school, and he had 2 talents. He became a painter, of course.
Amazing painter.
And I think he wrote books. Shvili Klipot HaTapuzim.
Right.
And we're going to see at least one of his artwork in Tel Aviv soon, the famous mosaic of the birth of Tel Aviv. There's Nachum Gutman. Nachum Gutman, Little Tel Aviv, 1972, glass mosaic. 3 central panels and images all around. This is made out of glass, mosaic stones. It was made in Ravenna in Italy. Jonah and the whale, the story from Jaffa. You can see the boat, and they're throwing Jonah into the whale's mouth. The central panel is the building of Tel Aviv.
So if you'll come to Israel and to Tel Aviv and to Neve Tzedek, you must try this wonderful ice cream, Anita ice cream.
Hi.
It's the best ice cream in the world. Hello, everybody.
Like, what's the specials for today? What are the...
Everything is special every day.
Wow.
Anything
Malabi.
else to try that?
Shiri.
Think I got it? Oh. Wow. You can go with that one.
And the minute we walk out of this street, we're actually crossing into the next neighborhood. There's still an argument. Who officially started Tel Aviv? Who, or like what group? Because we just saw that Neve Tzedek, they have a claim for that. Because they're the first neighborhood outside of Jaffa. But everyone thinks that Tel Aviv started here. Why? Look at the date, 1909. And the name, Akivah Ariye Weiss. Well, Neve Tzedek was 1887, and this is 1906. It's 20 years later. Okay, so why did this become Tel Aviv and not over there? Because they chose the name Tel Aviv for their small neighborhood. Their neighborhood was 66 families. That's it. And Herzl wrote, one of his books that he wrote was called Altnoyland. And when the book was translated to Hebrew, they translated the name Altnoyland to Tel Aviv. The first street of the neighborhood they named Herzl Street. The school that was built right here, now they demolished it, unfortunately, where they built the Shalom Tower. The school was called Herzliya School. Here's houses built out of these bricks. You can see how they're mixed with sand and pebbles. The first kiosk. See the first kiosk? There's the first kiosk, and let's see where it is. There it is. So they've restored the first kiosk, and it's right on the corner of 2 main streets, Rothschild Boulevard, or Rothschild Avenue, and Herzl Street.
מהמקום המחכה למחמאה, מתחנות של עשייה בהן המתנתי, לשמוע כמה שאני טובה, לידה פריחה גאות צופה מפל של מים, הם לא צריכים תשועות כדי לקרות, פותחת חלונות אל תפלת המים, לומדת מעצמי להשתאות, אני לומדת מעצמי להשתאות.
Okay, this is maybe the most famous photograph of Tel Aviv ever. You can see a group of people standing on the sand dunes. The photographer was Avraham Suskin. This photograph was taken Passover 1909. This is drawing of the lots of the 66 families. And they drew lots who will get which plot. And this is how they did it. Akivah Ariye Weiss, he collected 66 shells, white shells, 66 gray shells.
From the beach.
From the beach. And on each of the shells he wrote 1 to 66, the numbers on the white shells. And on the gray shells, each of the family's names. This is Mr. Dizengoff riding his horse. Meir Dizengoff, and he was the first mayor of Tel Aviv. So Meir the mayor. So Meir the mayor, he had a beautiful wife. She was a pianist. And then when he died in the 1930s, 1936, he was already the mayor of Tel Aviv. He decided to donate his house to the people of Tel Aviv. And one request, I'd want my house to be the art museum of the people. So this is not only one of the first homes of Tel Aviv, it's also the first art museum of Tel Aviv. And then in 1948, May 14th, 1948, Mr. Ben Gurion and the provisional government, because we were not a country yet, needed a venue to gather together to declare independence. And Ben Gurion chose Dizengoff's art museum because there was enough space for 300 guests in the basement because it was war. He wanted them to feel safe. And they said, okay, let's meet in the basement. It was Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. 300 guests were invited. You know how many arrived? 2,000. So they're all standing outside. And then just before Shabbat, he stands on his podium and he declared independence. And this is a photograph of all the people standing outside the house, waiting to go in. This is the moment of the declaration. Ben Gurion, he stands up and reads Israel's Declaration of Independence. 3 things happened that day. Israel was born, Mazel Tov. The British mandate ended. The British left, and the War of Independence started. The minute the British left, the Arab armies invaded. So this modest home, which now is under a lot of renovation,
this is where it all happened.
This is where it all happened. It's an amazing story about this small little house.
It's so excited even now to listen to it. It's amazing. And it's unbelievable what happened here. Shiri and David, I want to thank you for this beautiful day in Tel Aviv. I learned so much, things that I didn't know. David, thank you so much. It was fascinating, exciting, thrilling. Thank you so much for having me. It was a beautiful day in this beautiful city.
In wonderful Israel.
In wonderful Israel.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a big like if you like this video. And write comments and let us know where you'd like to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.